Hey everybody, Black Ninja 797 here. Welcome back to another episode of Left 4 Dead 2 Myth Busting Mondays. And in today's video for the final myth, we're going to be testing to see if whether or not that if a hunter can jump all the way from the Last Stand lighthouse all the way down to the rescue boat and therefore possibly killing the survivor, making it where that the survivors end up losing and the special infected win. If you guys end up enjoying today's video, please drop a like, subscribe if you are new, and if you also have a myth of your very own that you'd like to have be featured in next week's episode, please by all means leave it here in the comments down below, or also alternatively you can leave within my Discord server, which is going to be linked down below in this video's description. All that being said, guys, let's get everything started and once again kick off another episode of Left 4 Dead 2 Myth Busting Mondays. Myth: can you complete the parish finale and then backtrack to the safe room without dying? Alrighty guys, so the very first myth of today's episode is going to be submitted in by Dr. Zed, aka my friend Dan. Now I like this myth because this is slightly different than what we normally end up testing here on the channel. This one is more like a challenge compared to an actual myth, but I'm more than happy to end up making an exception here. So this particular myth, we're going to be just literally fast forwarding the footage of us completing the finale as normal, and then within the same game, without doing anything different, we're just gonna just backtrack as if we just ended up going in reverse. There are two main things to consider with this myth is, number one, how hard will it be to end up getting back into the safe room once we end up triggering the last part of the finale, because the tanks will spawn in and everything. And then also the second thing to take into consideration is the terrain of the map practical enough that we can end up going backwards? Is it going to end up being harder to end up going backwards? Is it going to be the same level of difficulty to go backwards? And I do have an answer for both of those things right away. For the special infected / infected in general part, it looks like there's nothing to worry about because, yes, even though we are playing on easy mode, the spawns are really not that prevalent on the bridge when you go in reverse. And the second thing is going to be the layout. It looks like the finale doesn't have any no return spots, so we don't need to resort to a grenade launcher to go backwards or anything. And it looks like we got to the safe room a-okay. So this means that the first myth of today's episode is confirmed. You can end up completing the parish finale and then backtrack all the way to the safe room without dying if you wanted to. I don't know if anybody has ever done this ever, to be frank, because I don't think that there would be any incentive to going back. I don't think anyone's gonna be like, oh shit, I forgot a medkit, let me go back. But anyway, myth 1's confirmed. Myth: is it possible for a tank to one-hit kill a charger? Alrighty guys, the second myth is submitted in by Nuketown 2015. So I am a tank and I'm going to punch the shit here out of this charger that is on Coldstream hiding in the bushes. Now, as you guys can see, I am not able to one-shot him. This is due to the fact that the charger ends up having 600 HP, and the tank in versus mode can only end up doing 24 damage per his punch, meaning that the second myth is busted. A tank cannot one-hit punch a charger. Myth: can a charger play bowling and charge through 10 survivors? Alrighty guys, the third myth is submitted in by Not On My Level / A True Winner 1. So I'm spawning in some extra bots, and I'm going to end up doing this myth at this part of the passing because I feel like this is one of the better wide open areas to test a myth like this. Now, even though this myth does sound simple on paper, the execution was not going our way. This myth was clunky, to try to say the least, in terms of executing it, because we're running into problems. Number one, we are not in one of those multiple people versus servers that end up having like 10 players instead of just 4 like traditional games. And that means that we're working with bots, and the bots have their own behavior, even though we are freezing them, warping them, we're trying to take away their guns. But either what's happening is that they're killing the charger is punching instead of sprinting into us. The survivors sometimes will get stuck and they don't move for whatever reason. Now, due to the slim chance that this could work in one of those multi-band servers, I'm going to label this as plausible and not completely busted. I'd like to imagine a part of the reason why this isn't working is because we're warping the bots inside of each other, and that's the reason why they're getting stuck and possibly glitching. Because when there's achievements like Flight Deck that exist, where you're trying to charge through multiple people, it makes sense for the charger to go through 5, 6, 7, all the way up to 10 people. We just can't get the result to show up. Myth: can you do a grenade launcher jump to go over the bus depot and skip turning off the alarm in the Parish Chapter 2? Alrighty guys, the fourth myth is submitted in by Dead Sled 8. Now, there used to be a skip here where you could actually be able to go through this gap and end up skipping the panic event this way. But unfortunately, we're not able to go through it anymore because there is now an invisible barrier in the way. And this also seems to be the case with any other part of the bus depot. When we try to no-clip and then turn it off and see if we can walk on the roof here, for example, we just get frozen. We can't move. So it looks like that there's invisible barriers everywhere in this area. Here's a visual aid to end up getting my point across. You guys can see all the little red and purple squiggly lines, and that is going to be the actual invisible barriers that we can't see as a survivor. So in one of the prior updates, most likely the Last Stand update, because that was the most significant one in recent memory, they probably just patched this out. So myth 4 is busted. You cannot end up going around the bus depot in the Parish Chapter 2 to skip the panic event. Alright, now let's move on to the last myth. Myth: can a hunter pounce a survivor from the Last Stand lighthouse to the boat and ruin the survivor's escape? And the last myth of today's episode is submitted in by Johnny William. Now, from the perspective of the survivor, this looks like it's not going to be possible, because look how far away Dan is. He's just a little tiny blip all the way out in the distance. Now, after showing you that, would you believe me if I told you that you could actually still do this anyways? Yeah, I'm not kidding. Look at that. I'm literally at the tip of the dock, and I still got pounced. I'm going to showcase this footage again just to show you how ridiculous this looks. Dan is so far away from me and then closes the gap ungodly fast. Like, bro, I remember when it was insane when we tested whether or not that the hunter could jump from the Parish Bridge down to the helicopter, and that ended up being confirmed. And I was thinking to myself, being like, there's no way we can ever top this ever again. And today is the day. We have now once again topped it, because the lighthouse, the freaking lighthouse, is so far away from the dock. But with enough parkour skills, if the person playing as the hunter is good enough and persistent enough, they will kill you, and you are not safe until the very, very end of the game when you're in the cutscene. So myth 5 / the last myth is confirmed. If a hunter was persistent enough and determined enough, he could kill you from jumping all the way off of the lighthouse to the boat. May God rest your soul if you end up pissing off the John Wick of hunters. Alrighty guys, but that is it here for today's video, and I do truly hope you guys ended up enjoying it. If you did, please consider dropping a like, comment, subscribe, follow, and all that beautiful stuff. And once again, if you have a myth of your very own that you'd like to be featured in next week's episode, please by all means leave it here in the comments down below. Or once again, you can leave it in my Discord server, which is going to be linked down below in this video's description. As we wrap up the video, guys, I also want to mention 2 last quick things. Number 1, I have a second YouTube channel now. It is called Black Ninja 797 Extras. And on this channel, I'm going to be uploading and posting additional content that you would normally not see here on my main channel, such as gameplay walkthroughs, funny moments with friends, and Challenge Accepted, which is a series I used to do here on my main channel where I play games you guys request me to play. If you want to check out the second channel, there is a link down below in this video's description. I also want to say thank you and shout out to Epic Games for being my first ever sponsor. I have a supporter creator code with them, and the code is just my name, Black Ninja 797 in all caps. If you guys want to, you can use it in the Fortnite and Epic Games item shops. Anybody that uses my code or has used it before in the past, I tremendously appreciate you. And yeah, guys, all that being said, I hope you end up enjoying seeing another YouTube video from the most unique YouTubers I'm ever going to see. Thanks for watching, guys. I love all of you, and peace out.
Hey, meme lords, Jesus here. And you better have enjoyed that video there by the eternal god Daddy Ninja. You should probably subscribe too, or the mighty Moab will come for your balls. If you enjoyed the video, you might like it too. And give me the memes. Flash, bang, boom!